Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we're back. Mike Kruizinga, Inside Real Estate website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. By the way, you can connect there to us and all of our partners. Of course, my personal real estate website, which is DFWMetroplexRealEstate.com. Our Pinterest, Twitter, and all that jazz. You can get all that from the website. And of course, go to archive for all of the back shows as well. Hey, it's time for our mortgage segment with Terry Wagner, a resident expert of all things mortgage. Terry, how's it going?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. And if anybody wants to talk to us about mortgage and real estate, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. If you've got any questions, refinance, mortgage, or otherwise, give us a shout. And let's get into it today, Terry.
Yes. Well, in light of the activities that went on this week, I thought that we would revisit the down payment assistance program that is specifically designed for our heroes, for our police officers, our firefighters, and our teachers. So just kind of revisit that again.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So with pretty much any of the down payment assistance programs, you have to have a 640 credit score. So like we've talked about hundreds of times, if you don't have a 640, don't let that deter you from giving me a call. We can certainly work with you to get the credit score to where it needs to be.
Okay.
So 640 minimum credit score. And this, let me just explain a little bit about what it does for you as the consumer, as the buyer. It is going to provide you with down payment assistance or money from the government to assist in paying your down payment and or closing costs. So if you don't have the 20% saved up or even enough for a 3.5% for an FHA loan, this program is what we can utilize to assist with that.
Okay.
It is a true grant. It does not have to be repaid. So you don't have to worry about this being a second mortgage or anything like that. It's a true grant.
Okay.
You can get 3%, 4%, or 5% grant money. There are some restrictions as far as credit scores and debt to income ratio and things like that, but we can talk about all of those when they call in.
Okay.
But I wanted to let you know it also comes with income limits. This program, like I said, is specifically designed for the police officers and the firefighters and the teachers, but anyone can utilize this program. The income that you can make, it's restricted by your income. So if you are regular Joe, not one of our heroes, we still like you, so you can still call us.
That's right.
But the income limits for our area, for Collin, Dallas, Denton, Ellis, Hunt, Kaufman, and Rockwall County, you can make up to $57,360 and still qualify for this program. Now, if you are one of our heroes, you can make up to $82,455. That can be your yearly salary. Anything less than that, then you qualify.
Okay.
If you purchase in a targeted area, let's say you family of 4 want to buy in a targeted area, and we'll go over that in a second what that is. You can make up to $100,380. Okay. So targeted area, that is going to be an area that it's an area of chronic economic depress. So you find a property that you like, we can certainly look and see if it's in one of those targeted areas. Now, if you're not purchasing in a targeted area, well, we talked about that. $82,455 is your income.
Right.
Okay. So the type of professions, you can be a firefighter, a corrections officer or juvenile correction officer, Department of Criminal Justice or Texas Juvenile Justice Department, county jailer, public security officer, a peace officer, emergency medical service personnel. You can also be a school teacher, classroom school teacher, a full-time public teacher's aide, school librarian, public school counselor, or one of the school nurses. All of those professions are classified as one of the heroes.
Okay.
Okay. You can utilize this program using the FHA, the VA. USDA. You can also now do it on conventional. I don't think that was available the last time we talked. And the benefit for that, Mike, is let's say you have a married couple and together their combined income is $90,000 a year. They don't qualify. Well, so we can take a look because, on an FHA loan, like we've talked about numerous times, if just one of the parties, one of the married couples is on the loan, you still have to count the debt for the other because Texas is a community property state and that FHA loan is a government loan.
Right.
Well, the conventional loan is not that way. So if you have this same couple that makes $90,000 together and one party makes more than the other, so we'll take the one with the higher income and try to run them on a conventional loan because then I don't have to use the debt from the other party. So we can hopefully make that work.
Very nice. Yeah,
Okay.
Fantastic.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Extremely helpful.
So again, you can do 3%, 4%, or 5% grant money on any of those loan programs. Now, the restrictions on those are your credit score has to be a little higher to get the higher end of the grant money. So if you're utilizing the FHA loan, if your credit score is between 640 and 660, you can only do 4% grant money. But if you have the 660 credit score, we can get the 5%.
Okay.
Okay. Conventional. Did you know that on conventional, you can do as little as 3% down?
Yes.
You can combine that with this program.
Nice.
Okay. But you have to have a 680 credit score. So like we've talked about on every program that we talk about, there's all kinds of restrictions. Let us be the source for knowledge for you. Give us a call. Let us see what program you fit into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're only at a 640, Terry's got so many ways to help you boost your score up to get you, if you needed to get up to a 680.
Right.
For a particular program.
Right. And we can combine this with the MCC. We've talked about that before. That's the Mortgage Credit Certificate.
Right.
And we'll save that for another show to talk about again. But that's a great program. If you don't know what that is, Google it and then call me, and we'll talk about that. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer to utilize this program. A lot of people think that the down payment assistance, I've got to be a first-time home buyer, and I'm not, so it doesn't apply to me. That's not the case. Now, if you are using the conventional grant program, you cannot own another residency. So if you're selling a property and buying another one, you can do that, but you can't retain that property and save it as an investment property and buy another and use this program for your down payment. Okay. There is a home buyer's education course that you have to take. We'll kind of walk you through that and provide you with the links to take care of that, but that has to be done. There's no recapture tax. So, again, you don't ever have to repay this. You're not going to pay any recapture tax on it throughout the loan.
Very good.
Okay?
Do you have to live in the house for a certain amount of time?
Nope.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nope. You do not.
Yeah, these programs are really good for the firefighters, the police, and the teachers. I had a teacher one time, I got her into a house for literally $70.
Right.
And it was basically the $70 option fee.
Right.
Because she got her earnest money check, which was, I think, $1,000 or $1,500. She got that money back at closing as part of the grant program. So literally, she paid $70, no down payment, no closing costs. $70 was the option fee, and then she paid for her inspection. That's literally what it cost to move into the house.
I've had plenty of customers that was the case, that they got their earnest money back, and like you said, they were out the option fee and their inspection.
Yeah. So if you're a police officer out there, or if you're in law enforcement at all, if you're in the teaching profession at all, or a firefighter, it's a no-brainer. Give Terry a call. It's a way to get you into a house.
Right. Absolutely.
A lot easier anyway.
Right.
I mean, why not take that financial assistance if it's available for your profession?
Right. And the income limits they're pretty reasonable, I think. They've just raised them not too long ago, so I wanted to kind of bring that up. So as a police officer, firefighter, or teacher, you can make up to $82,000 and still qualify for assistance.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm glad they did raise those levels, and particularly being able to still use that program, because the folks in law enforcement, the pay has steadily gone up.
Right.
I mean, if you're for example, say a federal officer, even at the very basic level of federal officer, you're doing around 70.
Right.
So, and they get their raises pretty regularly. So it's good they did raise those limits.
Well, I think this is a great program to honor those folks that we do call heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, if you are in any of those professions, give Terry a call. She'll give you more details. Now, also, there are other city programs, too, that have extra bonuses.
Right.
For, being a police officer and then buying a property in certain neighborhoods in certain cities. So there's extra stuff as well that Terry can give you more information on, depending on, where you serve at. So
correct.
Well, folks, we've been talking to Terry Wagner over at Supreme Lending Rockwall. Give Terry a call as always. Folks, I can't stress enough, whether you're thinking about refinance, Texas cash out, or purchase in general, or if you're thinking about selling and then buying, you've got to talk to Terry. Give her a shout. Okay, folks? Terry Wagner, website rockymartin.com. And then, of course, just go to our website and you can catch up with Terry. Folks, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come on back.